What's up, guys? We are ready here for the LiveSimSports Tournament Final, the game you've all been waiting for, between the 5th-seeded Auburn Tigers, looking to redeem themselves from last year's Final Four loss, and taking on the number 1 overall seeded Kansas Jayhawks. Let's take a look at how these teams got here. First, for Kansas, they knocked off Prairie View A&M in their first game before beating 8th-seeded Florida to make the Sweet 16. Then they knocked out All-American Cassius Winston and Michigan State in the Sweet 16 before beating Cinderella USC in the Elite Eight. And then in a thriller on Saturday night, we saw Kansas come from behind and win the game after a buzzer-beating 3 to send it to overtime by Isaiah Moss, I believe. And now they are in the finals facing Auburn. The Tigers. Their first game of the tournament, they got Liberty, and they knocked out the Flames, dousing their fire. Then they got the Aggies of New Mexico State, who took them to the buzzer last year. Not so much this time. Auburn easily winning that one before knocking off Baylor in the Sweet 16, surviving against San Diego State in the Elite Eight after just missing, or after a shot went in and out from Matt Mitchell of San Diego State. And then Isaac Okoro was the hero on Saturday night, hitting a game winner to knock off Utah State and advance into the championship game. Some keys to this game: if Auburn wants to win this whole thing, they need Isaac Okoro to be himself. He was really good in the last 2 games, really struggled the 2 before that. They need him to be locked in and playing well. And Austin Wiley's going to have to bang down low there with Udoka Azubuike. He's had to face Yanni Wetzel, who was a stud in this tournament, and Neemias Queta the last 2 games, but Azubuike is a different animal. And now for Kansas, they've got to get Udoka Azubuike working inside well, and they've got to be able to run that Dotson and Azubuike inside-out game, and Isaiah Moss has got to be hitting threes. When Moss is hitting threes, they are a different team because they've got the defensive stopper in Garrett, they've got the floor general in Dotson, and they've got the big man in Azubuike, but Isaiah Moss is just that shooter that he will knock down shots all day long. This should be a really great one tonight. I'm super excited. I know you guys all are. We'd like to thank you guys for following along in this tournament and for all the support that you've given us, and we are super pumped to bring this final game to you guys. I'm Zach Sudenik, and for LiveSimSports, I'm sending it out to my colleagues Jake Herman and Hunter Bumgart on the call for this one. I will see you back here at the half.
Welcome to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia for the national championship game. The 5-seed Auburn Tigers and the 1-seed Kansas Jayhawks. Hunter Baumgart here along with Jake Herman. Jake, we are set for the last game of the tournament.
That's right. It's the last game. We've reached the business end of the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. It's time to crown a champion tonight.
It is. We went from 68 teams, and now we're down to 2. Kansas and Auburn. Kansas beating Villanova in the Final Four here in Atlanta. Auburn coming off a victory over Utah State. Kansas in the white jerseys, white shorts, and with the blue numerals. Auburn in the dark blue jerseys, dark blue shorts, and the orange numerals. And we are underway as the Kansas Jayhawks secure the tip. And here we go. Dotson with it, top of the key for the Jayhawks. He's going to shoot a 3 right off the bat. No good. Rebounded by the Auburn Tigers, and they'll quickly bring it down the floor. How about a 2 on the left side is good, and it's Auburn 2-0 quickly.
Yeah, coming into this game, on paper, you would think Kansas really would have the edge sort of at every position. But this is a tough matchup for Kansas because this is the Auburn team that knocked them out of the tournament last season.
Garrett in the lane up for 2. He misses that one, and the Auburn Tigers quickly down the floor. And he's quickly down the floor, that is. Up for 2 and good, and Auburn quickly out to a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, this Tigers team is scrappy and streaky. There's no team that can get on a run faster than the Auburn Tigers. They really play emotionally and with a lot of momentum.
Dotson up for 2, high off the glass, good, and it's 4-2. As Wiley inbounds, Auburn will bring it down. The Tigers are 25-6, or were 25-6 heading into the tournament, and second in the SEC this season. Up for 2, Wiley, good, and it's 6-2 Auburn. They're starting fast.
Yeah, great start for the Tigers, who last season they faced this team in round 2. Number 5 Auburn beat number 4 Kansas by 14, but Auburn led it by 26 at the break.
Another 2, this one by Isaiah Moss of the Jayhawks, and it's 6-4 as Auburn brings it down.
Yeah, Kansas can't possibly have a worse first half than they did last year in the tournament against this Auburn team. Important for them to start well in this one.
Dottie with it, and it's almost stolen away. Wiley comes out of there with it. He's got it near the free throw line with 10 to shoot. 6-4 Auburn, early going in the national championship game. Up for 2, good. And the Auburn Tigers extend the lead to 8-4. Dottie with the 2.
Yeah, nice start for Samir Dowdy, who was a little cold last round against Utah State, had just 10 points. But this is a guy that averages nearly 17 a game.
Garrett with on the left side. He gives it to Azubuike. Now Garrett up for 2, and it is no good. Rebounded by the Tigers, and they'll bring it down the floor up 8-4.
Austin Wiley on the glass, and look out!
Oh, a dunk for the Auburn Tigers. No one other than Purifoy, and it's 10-4.
D'Angelo Purifoy was huge for them against San Diego State. 25 points in that one. And if Auburn gets somebody else to get hot besides Dowdy and McCormick, look out.
Dotson with it for the Kansas Jayhawks in the lane. Up for, well, thought he was going to go up, but he passes it to his teammate, and it rolls around the rim for what seems like an eternity and comes off. Auburn with the basketball quickly down the floor. Here we go. Right side, McCormick with it for the Tigers. He's near the top of the key, looking for a teammate. Gets it into Wiley, who slams it home, and Auburn coming out with their hair on fire. It's 12-4.
Well, this is just the start they wanted. Austin Wiley getting it done on both ends.
Dotson with it on the left side for Kansas as they try to answer a quick 12-4 run to open the game. Garrett inside to Azubuike. No good. Rebound Auburn, and the Auburn Tigers bring it down the floor. Still 12-4. Kansas not shooting well early. Oh, tried to go for the alley-oop, and it was intercepted. All right, Garrett with the basketball, top of the key for the Jayhawks. 6:40 to go in this first quarter. We play 4 10-minute quarters, so 2 20-minute halves, just like normal college basketball rules. Dotson with it in the lane. Oh, pass it out. It's intercepted. The Auburn Tigers can take a 10-point lead here. In for 2. Up, oh, a slam and a foul. Wow, Auburn, I mean, there's just nothing that can stop them right now.
And this is looking like a runaway train start, just like the first half of last season. Kansas needs an answer right now to avoid suffering the same exact fate that they did last year. Auburn, after making it all the way to the Final Four last year, was their first ever Final Four, looking to finish that journey, that unfinished business from last year by winning a championship. Bruce
Pearl looking on. He's been the coach since 2014 at the Auburn University. Okoro at the line, 14-4. Trying to make it 15-4, and he does not. Rebound Azubuike, and Kansas brings it down. All of a sudden, the number 1 overall seed finds himself down 10, and McCormick going to be called for a reach-in here as Kansas will retain possession.
As our good friend Zach Sardenik said in the pregame, you got to get Azubuike and Dotson more involved on that inside-out game for Kansas. More on them after this break.
Yeah, we'll be right back. 14-4 Auburn. You're watching the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. All right, we are back. Little eye of the tiger during that break because Auburn with a 14-4 lead. They deserve a little tribute music-wise.
Yeah, an Auburn team that has no returning starters from last year's Final Four squad, but has built upon their success.
All right, Abaji with it. Gets it out. That's over and back. Yeah, just wasn't even thinking there. Marcus Garrett, he doesn't even know what he did, but now he does. Bill Self just no expression, just pretty mad about his team's performance right now.
A little stage fright.
All the way into a Wiley, and he does not get the shot to go. All right, here we go. Dotson all the way across to the right side to Moss. Moss in the lane for Kansas. Up for two. Good. And it's 14-6.
Kansas has shown they've been a resilient team throughout this tournament. Teams have been able to make their runs on Kansas, but never been able to keep a lead for very long.
McCormick to Wiley, up for two, no good. Rebound Azubuike, and the Jayhawks bring it down across the timeline. All right, here we go. Abaji with it. He gets it to Azubuike, now out to Dotson. 14-6 the score, early going. Garrett into Abaji for two, and it's 14-8.
That's where Kansas got their success against Villanova, working that ball into the paint. Azubuike, who missed last year's meeting against Auburn because he was injured, trying to make his impact, and there's a steal. Yeah,
Dotson grabs the basketball, and the Jayhawks trying to make a little bit of a run here after being down 10 to open up the game. Garrett with the basketball. He dribbles it all the way out near the logo. Now hands it off to Dotson, 13 to shoot. Dotson, that's stolen away by Auburn, so they turn it right back over, and the Tigers quickly down the floor with Doughty. And he's just outside of the lane. He nearly loses it. Now puts it up for two over the defender and in over Garrett, 16-8.
Yeah, what a shot by Samir Doughty, the senior leader of this Auburn team, showing up in a big moment.
Kansas with the basketball. Dotson, 4:38 to go in this first quarter. Dotson back out near the logo. Dotson in the lane, up for two. High off the glass, yes, 16-10, as Dotson has used the top of the glass a couple of times so far tonight.
Much better start tonight for Dotson than he had on Saturday night, but he did finish that game with 20 points, looking to carry that second half momentum over to this one.
That's the voice of Jake Herman. I'm Hunter Baumgart with you from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Doughty for three, good. And it's 19-10 Auburn, a big shot by Samir Doughty.
You cannot leave Samir Doughty open from beyond the arc. He is a lethal three-point shooter.
Dotson gets it to Moss. Moss now to Dotson. Dotson drives the baseline, now into his teammate Azubuike, up for two. No good, but a foul. Wiley going to be called for his first. And Azubuike will go to the line to shoot a couple for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, neither team's been really working the ball down low to those big men too much. Wiley and Azubuike, both double-doubles machines down there. And Wiley has had himself a much better start to this one than his counterpart.
Azubuike will go to the line. The senior from Nigeria. He's been a big part of Kansas' success this year, although he did foul out in the game against Villanova. And that, well, they actually kind of almost did better with him. They were able to make a comeback while he was gone, which was not expected.
Yeah, it's almost like when he exited the game, everyone else on that Kansas team, I should say, started to step up and really force the issue. I mean, I don't know if it created more space in the paint or if everyone just realized that they had to do their part on the glass. Kansas was a much different team when Azubuike fouled out.
Very true. All right, first free throw is good, and then some substitutions. And now the second free throw upcoming for Azubuike. It is up, and it is good. 19-12, Auburn with a 7-point lead, the national championship game. Thanks so much for all of you watching and all of you who have watched our games throughout the tournament. It's been really fun to bring you some great college hoops for the last couple of weeks as McCormick almost nearly loses the basketball. Now he drives. Now he's still got the basketball over there. Dotson on him. Now gets it out to Flanagan. 6 to shoot. Flanagan spin move up for two. No good. Rebound by McCormick of Kansas.
Yeah, Dotson's an absolute pest defensively. 6 steals in the last game, and there's a transition dunk.
Yeah, Garrett was left wide open, and you don't want to do that to Marcus Garrett. 19-14, 5-point game.
You got to think that McCormick is going to have a tough time working on Dotson in this game. It's no wonder Samir Doughty's off to a much better start.
Williams with it. I beg your pardon. He's up for two, and it's no good. Rebound Dotson, and he'll bring it down the floor quickly across the timeline. Dotson. Baseline. Now, Azubuike. Oh, man. That was a beautiful move. Gets the foul as well, and it could be a three-point play as he celebrates with his teammates. It's 19-16.
Yeah, the big fellas checking in, starting to wake up late in this first quarter. 12:48 to go in the first half, and Azubuike already with 4 points. He had only 6 in the last game, and he'll have a chance to get nearly to that total right here. 44% free throw shooter, but he did make his first 2.
And we'll see what he can do here. 19-16, trying to make it a 2-point game. Free throws up and no good, so it remains a 3-point game here in Atlanta. Good to have you with us. Now a cutting, he blocked from behind. And the Kansas Jayhawks quickly up the floor. That's Braun in the lane, and now he gives it to his teammate, Garrett. Garrett now back out near the 3-point line. Garrett now into Azubuike. Azubuike has the size advantage here, and he puts it up and in. 19-18.
Kansas just keeps on fighting back, and if you're Auburn, got to think about trying to get Isaac Okoro involved. He was the hero in the last round. He's been very quiet so far. Number 23 is on the near side right now, and he gets the ball.
Yeah, he just had a dunk. I mean, that's all he's had tonight. Flanagan now with the basketball. He had a dunk early in this one, about 6 minutes ago, but since then, yeah, he's been silent. Flanagan nearly loses the basketball, 5 to shoot. Now he backs it back out. Now gets it to Okoro, and he's going to shoot a 3, and good. Right on cue, Jake Herman. Beautiful.
Okoro has just been something else for Auburn in this tournament. He's really been their X factor. Plus 15 in the last round. Led the team also with 17 points in that win over Utah State.
Now a slam by Dotson, and it's 21-20 as the Jayhawks answer on the other end.
Yeah, from one big bucket to the next, these teams starting to pick up the pace, starting to look like a national championship game now. I want
to beg your pardon. There was a 2 by Okoro's, not a 3. The referee said his foot was on the line, so it's 21-20. McCormick gets it to McLemore. 7 to shoot. He gets to Okoro, up for 2. Good, and he's starting to get involved more and more. And the Auburn Tigers out to a 3-point lead. Timeout, Bill Self and the Jayhawks. 1:07 to go in this first quarter. We'll be right back. You're watching the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. Welcome back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Hunter Baumgart along with Jake Herman in this national championship game between two storied programs, two programs just itching for a national championship, and we'll see who comes out of here with one tonight.
And Auburn trying to continue a newly growing story, the new powerhouse, this Auburn team, with 2 Final Fours in a row.
Exactly. Bruce Pearl doing a heck of a job down there in Auburn. All right, Dotson with it for the Jayhawks with 10 to shoot. Dotson going to go in the lane, up for 2, floater, no, rebound Auburn Tigers, and they'll bring it down the floor. Tigers up 3, 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. They get it into Williams. He gets it to Flanagan, up for 2, rejected by Azubuike, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Auburn ball, but Azubuike showing his strength in the lane.
Yeah, get that weak stuff out of here. Azubuike, nearly 3 blocks a game, gets one right there.
All right, Auburn to inbound. Running their play, trying to get it to someone. And they do. Auburn with a 3-point advantage. Flanagan with it for the Tigers in the lane. Passes it to McLemore. He's rejected. And the Auburn Tigers come back down the Jayhawks come back down the floor. Braun for 3, no good. Rebound McCormick. McCormick in the lane. 9 to shoot. And on the game clock, Dotson with the basketball. 5 seconds in the first quarter. We'll see what they do. Dotson for 3, no good. Rebound Auburn. And they will not get a shot off, and that is the end of the first 10 minutes here, the national championship game in the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. Jake, a good first half. It looks like going to be a great game.
Yeah, tight one so far. 10 minutes down, 10 to go in our first half. It's Auburn by 3.
We are back in Atlanta for the national championship game. Hunter Baumgart along with Jake Herman here for the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. We've had a bunch of games, 68 teams to start. Now we're only down to 2, and Auburn and Kansas are the 2 left and playing for the title here tonight. No good on one end for Auburn. Now Garrett on the other end for the Kansas Jayhawks as they're down by 3. It's been a good, kind of a back and forth first quarter, and now we'll play the last 9:33 of this second. 2 is up and good for McCormick, and it's 23-22.
Hunter, how huge has McCormick been in this tournament for Kansas?
Huge.
Valuable minutes off the bench, filling in right where Azubuike leaves off when he exits with foul trouble.
Cambridge with it for the Auburn Tigers. He gets it to Okoro. 15 to shoot. He's going to drive just outside the lane. Now goes in the lane, up for 2 over a couple of Jayhawk defenders. That was impressive. It's 25-22 for Isaac. 10 points for him tonight.
Yeah, and on the other side, Okoro's been just as important. He's really done a little bit of everything for this Auburn team.
Garrett with it for the Jayhawks. Right side to Dotson. Dotson going to go in the lane. Now backs it back out. Jayhawks with the basketball down 3 in this national championship game. Dotson in the lane, up for 2, no good. It gets his own rebound, though, and he gets it out to Braun, back to Dotson. And then fresh shot clock here for the Kansas Jayhawks.
Got to box out. Smallest guy on the floor got that rebound.
Exactly. McCormick up and good. Or sorry, that was McCormick. Yep, and it's 25-24.
Yeah, you can't let the smallest guy on the floor get that rebound. Rebounding's been a problem for Auburn in this tournament. They were minus 14 against Utah State. Got to correct that in this one.
McLemore up for 2, no good. Rebounded by Azubuike, and the Jayhawks bring it down. Braun on the far side, down 1. They could take the lead on this possession, could the Jayhawks. McCormick to Garrett. Garrett on the left side. Alley-oop, just intercepted.
Swallowed up. What a play.
Wow, Williams comes out of there with it, and he's now at the top of the key. Gets it to Flanagan. Flanagan gets it to McLemore. McLemore to Flanagan. Flanagan, left side for the Auburn Tigers. Now to the top of the key. 7 to shoot for Auburn as they take a bunch of time off the clock here. Flanagan, 3 to shoot, drives. Gonna have to get it off. He does. No good. It's gonna be a shot clock violation because it didn't even hit the rim, so Kansas will get the possession after Auburn wastes that one.
Yeah, there's the on-ball defense of Marcus Garrett. Once again, making an impact on this game between him and Dotson. You can't really do much if you got one of those guys right in your face.
Bruce Pearl basically subs, I think, everybody there. And so now Auburn with a bunch of new guys out there as Doughty comes down the floor. And after the interception. So we'll see if this substitution, basically everybody, not everybody. Cambridge is still out there, but a lot of substitutions there. 3 or 4 guys coming off the bench for Pearl.
Yeah, not uncommon. Bruce Pearl does the platoon swaps. Auburn a pretty deep team.
Purefoy up and good, and it's 27-24 as Auburn back out to a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, way to get the ball inside. They got to find creative ways to get space on the interior with backdoor cuts because you can't just go right at these guards or these big men.
Moss with it for 3 off balance, and we are tied in Atlanta. No, we're not. Sorry, we're not tied, everyone. Just so you know, I'm jumping ahead of myself. It's a 2 instead of a 3. 27-26. His foot on the line once again. The refs have good eyes down there.
Laser eyesight. Almost not even real.
Cambridge gets it left side to Wiley. 27-26. This game has been back and forth ever since Auburn got out to a 14-4 lead, then a 19-10 lead. Then Kansas came back and was down 19-18, and since then it's been back and forth at a 1-point game. 2 is up and no good, and Moss with the rebound, and now Kansas could take the lead on this possession, but we shall see. I've said that many a time.
Yeah, bad shot there by Doughty. That's just what Kansas wants, contested mid-range.
Moss is fouled in the lane by Wiley, and Wiley says that's my fault. It's his second foul already. 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, that's important, Hunter. Wiley is by far the best rebounder for this Auburn team. He's had 18 or 19 rebounds, I think, for 3 games in a row in this tournament for Auburn. He averages nearly 10 rebounds a game. The next highest rebounder only averages 4.5. Needless to say, he's pivotal to this Auburn team, and you can't lose him to foul trouble.
Austin Wiley, the senior from Hoover, Alabama. Now Isaiah Moss is at the line. He's the senior from Chicago, Illinois. And his free throw is up and good. And we are now tied here at 27.
Moss, of course, was the hero at the end of regulation for Kansas in the last game. Hit that improbable corner 3 at the buzzer to send the Jayhawks to overtime, keep them alive, and get them here. Really an incredible shot for Kansas there.
Yeah, heartbreak for Villanova, who was 2 seconds away from being in this game against Auburn. Moss up and good. 28-27, Kansas has what I believe to be their first lead of the night.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, McCormick with the basketball up for two, and it is no good. Rebound McCormick. So McCormick misses, and McCormick on the other team gets the rebound. It's just crazy how that works. They get it into, speaking of McCormick, for two, and it's 30-27.
Yeah, McCormick, remember, started this game last year in the second round because Azubuike was injured, and he was great. He had 11.6 rebounds, looking to build on that today.
He's the sophomore from Norfolk, Virginia. McCormick on the other end for the Tigers, up and good. And we should just have McCormick against McCormick. I mean, we should just do one-on-one for the rest of this national championship game.
It's like a law firm, McCormick and McCormick.
Exactly. Maybe we need to get them as a sponsor. Baji in for two and a dunk by Moss, and it's 32-29.
Well, if you're not sponsoring this, you're missing out. This is quite the spectacle that's unfolding here. No real sponsors, of course. Mercedes with a Z is the only one on this court.
Exactly. Be sure to follow LiveSimSports on Twitter for all future things as well, including highlights and everything. You can go back and watch all these highlights from all these games. It's been just a crazy fun tournament.
And I hear there's a one shining moment coming soon.
Ooh, look out for that. McCormick for two, no good. A rebound by the Kansas Jayhawks. They're up three and can extend the lead here as Auburn gone a little bit cold. On with it for the Jayhawks. 18 to shoot. Braun in the lane. Standing there. Now just loses it. It's on the ground, and now Moss picks it up for the Jayhawks. 4:20 to go in the first half. 9 to shoot for Kansas.
Wiley's still in there with those two fouls.
Moss drives, lane up for two. No good. Rebound Wiley, speak of him. And now Auburn will bring it down as the crowd comes to the feet, and quickly they sit down.
Auburn's gotten away from their game a little bit here. They're a three-point shooting team. They're trying to go inside a little too much here. Stick to your game. Dance with who brought you.
Exactly. Dowdy with the basketball. He's in the lane, up for two. No. Rebound fought for. Wiley gets it out of there. Found McCormick. Wow. That's a beautiful rebound and pass out there.
How important is Wiley on that offensive glass?
He is. Can't let him foul out early. No doubt about that. Dowdy with the basketball. 13 to shoot. Now to McCormick. He's going to drive. Spin move. In the lane. Up for two. No. Rebound Isaiah Moss of the Kansas Jayhawks.
You got to shoot that, McCormick. You shoot 4 threes a game. Pull that. That's wide open.
Dotson with the basketball. Inside. Dunk. Abaji. 34-29.
Yeah, Kansas has started to take control of this game, and it's really a result of Auburn's poor shot selection on offense. They're going for the contested twos and passing up some wide open threes.
Bruce Pearl might need to call a timeout here shortly. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Wiley gets to Dowdy. Dowdy with the basketball. Dowdy for three. No good. Rebound Dotson, and the Jayhawks will bring it down.
Yeah, Auburn lives and dies by the three at times, and right now they're certainly dying by it.
Braun with it on the left side. 18 to shoot. Gets it into McCormick. McCormick up for two. Good. And the Jayhawks now up 7 as they continue to extend their lead as Auburn continues to miss.
Yeah, a little mouse in the house there. McCormick working on Cambridge, and mouse in the house equals free cheese for the big fella.
Love it. All right, inside McCormick in the lane, up for two. No. Oh my gosh, I thought we were going to be here the rest of eternity after that was sitting up there.
Perfect pitch, Hunter.
I would have loved to see if it got stuck up there, what would happen. If they would get the guy to come out with the little, with the, whatever, what is it, the pole, whatever they use to get it out.
Just get the Clippers blimp back. Have the blimp nudge it off the rim.
The Clippers blimp might make an appearance coming up. But Auburn at the line here. And they are down 7, so let's see if they can score maybe from the free throw line. They haven't been able to score from the field last couple of minutes. Free throw is up and no good.
Auburn has not gotten to the line as much as they would like to in this game. They're one of those teams that gets to the line a ton. First in the SEC in free throw attempts, but only 11th in the SEC in free throw percentage. They get there often, and they don't shoot it that well. A little bit like Kansas. Kansas a little bit of the same way. A lot of attempts, but not necessarily a lot of makes from the line.
Couple of substitutions there for both teams. And now McCormick's free throw is up and good. Okoro comes in for the Auburn Tigers as Berman makes that free throw. 36-30. Kansas with the lead.
This lead not safe against a team like Auburn that is so streaky, but I got to say Kansas has looked much stronger here in the second quarter.
They really have. Garrett with the basketball up for two. It is no good. Rebounded by the Auburn Tigers. That's McCormick, and he'll get it down the floor to Purifoy. Now back to McCormick. 21 to shoot, 1:53 to go in the first half in this national championship game from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Mr. Baumgart with Jake Herman here. Wiley up for two, no good. Rebound Kansas. 36-30 is the score. Quickly down the floor for the Jayhawks. It's Dotson in the right corner near the Kansas bench. Now he backs it out. 18 to shoot near the logo. Right side to Garrett. Garrett in the lane. Up for two. Good. And it's 38-30. Kansas continuing this night's second quarter.
Well, any game involving Auburn is going to be a game of runs. Auburn can get it going or they can really collapse. Right now, this game in a bit of a danger zone early. It's tough to come back from big against Kansas. We've seen a couple teams come close to do it and fail. Auburn's got to keep this within single digits as we head to break.
1 minute to go in this first half. Let's see if Auburn can make a little bit of a run here. McCormick to Dowdy to Okoro. Okoro with the basketball spin move. 2 to shoot. Puts it up for two and good right at the buzzer. Timed it exactly right with that layup.
Yeah, Okoro's keeping Auburn in this game. Plain and simple. He's been excellent since that quiet start.
12 points already. Garrett with the basketball. And he gets it stolen away, and the Auburn Tigers can cut more into this Kansas Jayhawk lead. Dowdy with the basketball. Dowdy right on that Auburn logo. Now gets to Okoro. Now inside to Purifoy. Let's see what he can do inside. Now he's going to back it out a little bit. Garrett on him. He's just really sizing up Garrett to see what he should do here.
Well, small size advantage, but Garrett is no slouch defensively.
Exactly. 2 to shoot. Okoro's going to need to put it up, and he does, and he misses it. And the offensive board, and put back is up, and no good, but a foul. Big rebound once again by Austin Wiley, the senior from Hoover, Alabama.
Yeah, talk about something from nothing right there. Okoro's able to draw iron after he nearly banked in that three-pointer. And then Wiley's right there, Johnny on the spot, right place, right time, and he heads to the line.
Wiley will go and shoot a couple. Bill Self not happy with that call, as you could see his reaction just a couple of moments ago.
Yeah, Bill Self been a little more animated in this game. He's amped up too, a little adrenaline here for the national championship game.
Exactly. How can't you? Playing for the title of the entire tournament as the free throw is up and good for Wiley. 38-33. Couple of substitutions. Purifoy and Dowdy come out. Flanagan and McLemore come in.
And just a reminder, coming up next on the McCormack and McCormick halftime report, we have Zach Sardenik giving you all of his analysis and some keys to the second half. Don't miss that.
7.5 seconds till that, and a free throw is good. 38-34. So Auburn with some 4 points in the last minute, and we'll see if Kansas can get a shot off at the end of the half here. Dotson up for two at the buzzer, got it with a half a second left. 40-34. And that will do the first half. Jake, quick first half takeaways here.
First half takeaways, if the game continues like this, it's got to be looking good for Kansas. They weathered the storm at the beginning, and Auburn's offense really not in a good rhythm right now. We'll see what adjustments they make at the break.
Halftime score, Kansas 40, Auburn 34, the national championship game here in the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. We'll send you to the halftime show with Zach Sardenik.
What's up, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed the first half. It was a great one so far. Back and forth action between these two great teams. The Auburn Tigers jumped out to the early lead, dominating the first quarter, but then Bill Self went to the two big man lineup of Udoka Azubuike and McCormick in the game at the same time, and that turned the tide in this one. Kansas has led ever since, leading 40-34 here at the break. Once again, we'd like to thank you guys for all the support here. We have worked really hard on this here at LiveSimSports, and I just want to thank everyone for all of their support through here. Isaac Okoro, who is one of the keys to the game that we mentioned earlier. Hot start for him with 12 points, including a long two in the corner that was contested over Isaiah Moss early in the first quarter that was about the same spot, just a little bit in, from the game winner he hit in the Final Four on Saturday. Isaiah Moss with 10 to lead the way for the Jayhawks, the only Kansas player in double digits. He was our other key to the game for Kansas. Dodson with 8 and 5. Azubuike with 6 and 4. David McCormick actually has 8 right now. Marcus Garrett has played well, 4 points, 4 assists. For Auburn, it's been Isaac Okoro with 12. Samir Dowdy with 7. Austin Wiley with 6 points and 5 boards. Excuse me. D'Angelo Purifoy with 6 as well. Auburn gonna need Okoro to finish strong, and they're gonna need to get some more points from Samir Dowdy, as he's gonna need to knock down some shots from outside. It's been a really good one so far. I hope you guys are all enjoying. I certainly am enjoying watching this game, and I am pumped to find out the ending and see who wins this one. Kansas, 40 points, leading by 6. Here at the break. We'll be back with more of the second half of this one in just a few, but for now, I'm Zach Sudenik, and I'm here with your halftime show, breaking down some of these graphics that you're going to be seeing during this halftime. Auburn does not have a three-pointer yet. And neither does... No, Auburn has one three-pointer. Kansas does not have a single one. 1 of 3 for Auburn, 0 of 3 from Kansas. Not really many three-point shots going up here so far. Both teams have shot 5 free throws. Auburn 3 for 5, Kansas 4 for 5. Rebounding battle has gone to the Jayhawks, but Auburn's steals have been good. And they have 8 points off of 6 Kansas turnovers, 0 points off turnovers for the Jayhawks. Biggest lead of the game was Auburn, but that is not the case now, as Kansas has jumped to a lead here in this one. We are going to have a few more graphics and some highlights here, but I am going to send it back over to Jake Herman and Hunter Bumgard after the rest of these graphics, and hope you enjoy the second half. For LiveSimSports, I'm Zach Sudenik. We will see you at the end of this one with a champion of the LiveSimSports tournament. Hope you enjoy the second half. I know I will. For LiveSimSports, I'm Zach Sudenik.
We are back in Atlanta for the national championship game. Kansas with a 6-point lead. Hunter Baumgart along with Jake Herman. And Jake, what are you looking for in this second half?
Well, as Zach pointed out, we haven't seen too much three-point shooting for either team. Both teams shot it pretty poorly from out there in the last round, but they really tried to go away from it today. But Auburn, they'll certainly need to get it going from out there. The three-point shot is their bread and butter. And for Kansas, their bread and butter has been points in the paint. 34 of their 40 points in this game have come in the paint. That matches Auburn's entire total. Auburn's going to have to find an answer down low. They've got to stop that two big man lineup of McCormick and Azubuike from dominating.
And we will see if they can. One more half in this LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. It's been really fun to bring you all these different games. Both Jake and I have been on a bunch of them as we've gone through the bracket, and now we are set for this second half of the national championship game as Kansas misses on one end and Auburn now with it with 9:35 to go in the third. McCormick with it on the right side, inside to Purifoy. Purifoy is going to back it out for the Auburn Tigers, guarded by Abaji. Purifoy passes it out to McCormick. Kansas and Auburn. Who's going to be this year's national champion? And that's out of bounds on Kansas, so the Tigers will retain possession. Only 2.3 seconds to shoot here.
Yeah, great perimeter defense by Dotson, and him and Garrett have done a nice job preventing Auburn from getting too many open looks, so you'd like to see Auburn try and create a few more.
All right, catch and shoot here. It's going to be no good, and the Kansas Jayhawks rebound, and they'll bring it down the floor.
Got to defend the post here. Can't let Kansas get free real estate in the paint.
Kansas by 6. They were up by 4, but a last-second 2 got them to be up by 6 at halftime, and now nearly a steal. Azubuike with the basketball, right side to Moss. Now to Garrett, into Azubuike. Now Garrett with the basketball, up for 2, no good. Rebound, the Auburn Tigers, and they quickly bring it up the floor. It's Okoro. He passes it to McCormick in the lane. Alley-oop, you betcha, for Purifoy, 40-36.
That's where Auburn excels. They got to get out in transition. Don't let Kansas set up. Auburn did such a nice job scoring points off of turnovers in the last round, and they've already got 10 now in this championship, I should say.
You bet. Dotson into Azubuike. Now, he tried to get it to his teammate. He could have just put it up and in, I think, but he decided to pass it. It's intercepted. Now a corner 3 is no good. Rebound by Abaji.
Well, that's just what Auburn needs to do. Create those threes in transition.
Dotson, top of the key for the Jayhawks, 40-36. You can feel the intensity here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, corner 3, Moss wide open. You betcha, go get you for Isaiah Moss, and it's 43-36.
He's been huge. Isaiah Moss has been pretty efficient in this one, shooting over 50%. And he's a great option for them to stretch out the Auburn defense.
Isaiah Moss on one end. Auburn tries to go alley-oop on the other, and it does not work. And quickly up the floor is Kansas. Now an open Dotson for 3, and the Kansas Jayhawks have a 10-point lead.
Here we go, Kansas. If they can stretch out this Auburn defense, in addition to what they've been doing to them in the paint, turn off the lights. This thing would be over. Auburn needs a couple of stops.
They do. Couple of stops, couple of baskets. Let's see what they can do. Wiley with the basketball, nearly loses it. Now gets it back out to McCormick. Now to Purifoy, left side to Doughty. 9 to shoot for the Tigers. Doughty with the basketball, standing there. Now going 2 up and no good. Rebound, Wiley puts it up and in. 46-38, another board by Austin Wiley.
Yeah, Wiley's been the stopper for Auburn. Great job by him in the post.
Garrett with it for the Jayhawks here in this national championship game. Garrett in the lane, backs it out, up for 2, good, and it's 48-38, back to a 10-point advantage for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, Wiley being careful not to pick up that second foul, but, you know, Kansas is going to take advantage of his foul trouble and go right at him. Heads-up play by the veteran Garrett. Tigers
started the game shooting very well, but just 45% now in the game, and Kansas is shooting 62% as a 2 there for Auburn, cuts it to 48-40.
Okoro should be getting the ball on every possession. 7 of 9 from the field. He's been excellent.
He's been the hot hand for the Auburn Tigers, and that's where you want the basketball at this point in the game with 16:10 to go in the game. Up for 2, Abaji, no. Rebound to the Auburn Tigers, and they'll try to cut more into this Jayhawk lead.
Good contest by Purifoy.
McCormick with it for the Tigers. Spinning around, out back near the three-point line. Now gets it to Wiley. Wiley, spin move up. He's been a beast inside, 48-42.
Yep, there's a mouse in the house. Abaji outsized by Wiley, and Auburn still within reach of that first national championship in school history, but they've got work to do, Hunter.
They do. Garrett with the basketball, not the number 1 seed number 1 overall seed is not going to go away easy by any means. Azubuike with the basketball, especially with a lead. Azubuike to Garrett. Top of the key, 5 to shoot. Oh, he threw an interception. Wiley hands it off to his teammate, and the Auburn Tigers right up the floor. Down by 6. Okoro, top of the key. He's in the lane between defenders to Wiley. Put it up and in, and Wiley's really heating up for Auburn, 48-44.
Yeah, this is a great answer for Auburn, and I like that defensive possession. If Kansas is killing you in the paint, don't let the ball into the paint. Stop that entry pass.
Wild shot is good inside for the Kansas Jayhawks by Dotson.
There's nothing you can do about that.
No, that's just an acrobatic shot, and Bruce Pearl wants to talk it over. 50-44. 4:56 to go in the third. You're watching the Live Sim Sports College Hoops Tournament. We are back. Auburn inbounds the basketball. Hunter Baumgart, Jake Herman with you from Atlanta in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Now a 3 on the right side is no good. Rebound to Kansas Jayhawks.
Von McCormick hasn't gotten anything going in this one for Auburn.
No, he has not. Kansas with the basketball. Moss with it inside at the free throw line. Now he backs it out. Kansas and Auburn. One of these teams will be your 2020 national champion. Who will it be? Up for 2 is Garrett, no good. Rebound to the Auburn Tigers, quickly up the floor across the timeline. And the Auburn Tigers in the lane, that's Flanagan, now backs it out, and he's near the top of the key. Now gets it to Wiley. Wiley has been a wild one in this second half so far. Oh, there he is. You bet. Oh, he misses it, gets his own rebound. Out for 3, Williams. No, rebound Kansas.
Yeah, Wiley thought he was fouled there by Azubuike going for that second effort. He's been a high-energy player on the glass for Auburn.
Garrett with it, and he gets it knocked away. Auburn with it, down by 6. Ahead of the defense, Williams up for 2. Acrobatic good in the foul. Counted and 1. And Isaiah Moss called for the foul. Going to the line will be Mr. Williams.
Yeah, and oh wow, look at that, the Kansas assistant stealing the Jay Wright green suit look, the Hunter green suit from last game.
Exactly.
He beat him and he took his clothes. But no, great answer there by Auburn. They've been really getting out in transition much better to start the second half, and this is really anybody's game at this point.
Auburn going to try to cut it to a 1-possession game. Jalen Williams, the freshman from Georgia, at the line. Free throw is up and no good, and it's still a 4-point game. Can't shoot. He couldn't get the shot to go from the charity stripe.
Auburn's been poor at the line today. Haven't gotten there enough, haven't converted enough.
Abaji with the basketball, gets it out to Garrett near the logo. Beautiful LiveSimSports logo there with all 4 of the Final 4 teams, including the 2 that were eliminated on Saturday night, Utah State and Villanova. And Azubuike with the basketball. He's going to spin. 3 to shoot here, and he gets stripped away. Auburn with the basketball. Azubuike loses it in the lane. Now they get it into Purifoy. Purifoy to McCormick, who winds up and slams it home. Tigers on a 12-4 run in the last 3:54.
This is what Auburn can do to you. They get fired up in a hurry. Great adjustment, by the way, by Bruce Pearl. They're double-teaming the ball every time it gets in the post with Azubuike.
13 minutes to go in this national championship game. Auburn down 2, Kansas up 2, whichever way you want to look at it. 2 is up and good for Garrett. It's 52-48.
Garrett's been big in this tournament, had over 20 points in the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, and he keeps it going here. Pretty efficient for him in this game.
He has got 8, all of them coming in the paint. McCormick in the lane, up for 2, rejected. Azubuike knew it from the beginning that he was going to reject him. All right, Kansas now gets it stolen away by Auburn. A lot of turnovers here, especially by Kansas last couple of possessions. Now up for 2 is Williams, and the Auburn Tigers down 2.
Yeah, number 1 in the country being a little careless with the basketball here, and that's honestly what's keeping Auburn in this game. They had 5 first-half steals, already 3 in the second half, and we've got a 2-point game seemingly out of nowhere.
Bill Self calls a timeout. Kansas talking it over. Auburn with some momentum. 52-50 the score. 2:15 to go in the third. You're watching the Live Sim Sports College Hoops Tournament. Welcome back to Atlanta. Hunter Baumgart along with Jake Herman here. You can follow me on Twitter at HunterBOnAir. Jake Herman, you can follow him on Twitter, Jake Herman22. Also, be sure to follow LiveSimSports on Twitter for all of the highlights and reaction to this one. Let us know your thoughts on the live. Just tag at LiveSimSports. Who do you think is going to win this one? 52-50, 2 minutes left in the third. Garrett up for two. Well, he gives it to his teammate. Up for two is good for Azubuike. It's 54-50.
Yeah, Auburn's done a better job on Azubuike in the second half, but again, nothing you can do about that. Kansas continues to hit shots with a high degree of difficulty, and look out, here they come in transition.
Oh boy, they're fumbling, they're stumbling, and they lost the basketball, and the Kansas Jayhawks will take over on the other end. Man, oh man.
Good hustle by Purifoy to try and save that ball. He's been actually pretty good since coming back in to start this second half, Purifoy has, but right there, not enough to get to that loose ball.
Now Abaji will inbound. And he inbounds it to Garrett as we have a fresh shot clock for the Jayhawks, up 4 with a minute 38 to go in the third. Then we have 10 minutes in the fourth of this national championship game, and who knows, maybe even overtime. Kansas coming off an overtime victory over Villanova. Azubuike gives it to Garrett. Garrett to Moss. Moss, top of the key for the Jayhawks at the free throw line, now backs it out.
Great
5 to shoot.
Okoro.
Yes, 5 to shoot. Moss for 2. No, rebound Auburn, and Wiley gets that board. He's nearing a double-double. I think he's got 12 points and 9 rebounds. They get it into Flanagan, who backs it all the way back out. He's like, I'm just not even going to try to do anything in the lane. Now we have a foul on Wiley. Illegal screen. That's his third.
That's a big call right there. You know, Bill Self's been in the officials' ear all game, telling him, watch out for that illegal screen. And he finally gets the call, working the officials. A 30-plus year veteran as a coach, Bill Self.
Exactly. He knows what he's doing. He's been in high-intensity games in his career, no doubt about that. Moss with the basketball in the lane, puts it up for 2. He's fouled. That's going to be Okoro as Auburn racks up a couple of fouls in the last minute.
Yeah, Bill Self actually might have given him too many years on that coaching experience. This is his 18th year as a head coach of Kansas. And how about this, Hunter? Every single year that he's been at the helm, remember he took over for Roy Williams in 2003. Every year that he's been at the helm, Kansas has not only made the tournament, but they've made it as a top 4 seed. Unbelievable stuff.
Wow. That's actually incredible.
Yeah, and the one national championship in 2008 is all they have to show for it. It's looking to add a second in Bill Self's tenure if they can hang on to this one.
Sounds like my Green Bay Packers. Let's get into the playoffs every year, but win only one the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers and win only one Super Bowl with Brett Favre. Don't get me started.
Well, you know, if this were the Packers, they were bounced in that divisional round by this Auburn team last year, that being round 2, and Kansas out for revenge in this one to the team that ended their season last time around.
Yeah, exactly. Free throw is up and good, so both of them are 56-50, 44 seconds to go in this third quarter, 20-second difference between the game and the shot clock. Flanagan with the basketball for the Tigers. 12 to shoot. Gets it to McCormick. Thought about the 3. Now he's going to take the 3, and he's going to nail the 3. 56-53. Auburn back with a tray ball. That's something they need to do a little more of going into this fourth quarter.
Yeah, finally the senior McCormick gets it going. And look out, McCormick's a guy that can heat up real fast for this Auburn team.
Braun with it. 15 seconds left in the third. Braun might, and the Jayhawks might just wait to take this last shot of the half, of the quarter. We shall see. Braun in the lane. Gets it out to Bagbaji. Now he's going to get it out to Garrett for 2. No good. And that's the end of the third. It's a 3-point game with 10 minutes left. Jake, we're looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to it. If this were a football game, Auburn and Kansas, they're down by just a field goal. And that's going to be all for the football references in this one. That's going to be all for the third quarter. Kansas leading it by 3. Can't wait to see how this Live Sim Sports tournament is going to end up. Who's going to take home the college version of that Larry O'Brien trophy you see? Yeah, Hunter, there's our McCormick, and McCormick assisted the game. Dotson finding Azubuike down low. You know, Zach Sardenik talked in the pregame about how important it was that those two have solid games for Kansas. You know, compare them on the other side to Wiley and Dowdy, sort of the guard big man combo that really fuel these teams. I would say Dotson and Azubuike have gotten the better of that matchup so far.
Yes, I would agree with you there. We are back. Hunter, Jake with you. Hunter and Jake, I should say. My name isn't Hunter Jake. Anyway, we are back here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Final Four national championship game. All, just everything. It's as star-studded as they get here. Up and a dunk for Kansas. Abaji with the 2. 58-53. This is going to be a good fourth quarter. Stay with us.
Yeah, Auburn's paint, interior defense, I should say, was much better in that third quarter, but recently it's slacking off a little bit. Kansas getting right back to their bread and butter, pounding it down low.
Auburn with the basketball has not shot all that well. Kansas going a little cold themselves in that third quarter, so we shall see who gets the hot hand, whether it be Auburn or Kansas the rest of this one. Up for 2 is good for Flanagan. It's 58-55.
Well, and if you're Auburn, you have to feel fortunate to be in this basketball game because Kansas is shooting right at just under 60%, even with that cold streak you mentioned. They've just hit tough shots all game long, and give credit to Auburn for hanging around with them.
Garrett with the basketball. He's going to drive in the lane. Up for 2. Good. And it's 60-55 with 8:40 to go.
Yeah, Azubuike is a towering screen right there at the free throw line. Tough for any defender to get around.
Bruce Pearl calls a timeout, so it's 60-55, 8:36 to go. We'll keep it here for this timeout. And Jake, if you had to, give a key or two, maybe a key to both teams down the stretch, what are you giving them here?
For Kansas, you just got to take care of the basketball. I think when they've turned the ball over and allowed Auburn to get out of transition, that's where Auburn has excelled. That's really the only way that Auburn's been able to create a lot of open looks. And another key for Kansas, got to box out Austin Wiley. How many times has Austin Wiley given Auburn a second chance in this game? He's got a double-double in this one to go with, I think, 14 points, 10 rebounds right now for Austin Wiley. You got to keep him off the boards. And if you're Auburn, you just got to force Kansas to take outside shots. This is not a Kansas team that likes to live and die by the 3. They're not a strong three-point shooting team, although they can hit them when they need to, as we saw last round. If you're Auburn, you just have to make somebody else beat you besides Azubuike on the interior, and you can't let Abaji keep getting open down there either.
Auburn will inbound down 5. Dowdy comes in for Auburn coming out of that timeout, and they throw it right away. Yeah, turnover. Kansas the other way. Moss with the basketball for the Jayhawks. Out to Dotson. Kansas, if they go on a little bit of a run here, look out. It could be lights over, to use a phrase you used earlier, Jake.
Lights over. I didn't even notice that.
Sorry, lights out is what I meant, and I messed that up. I'm blaming it on you, and it's not even your fault. Anyway, three-pointer is no good. Auburn. Oh, and they turn it over again, and here we go. Circus. Moss for 2 and the dunk. 62-55.
Bring the house down, young fella. Isaiah Moss. I should say, elder statesman, the senior Moss.
Yes, a lot of heads in the crowd, as you can see. A lot of fans bringing their favorite players' heads to the game. All right, Auburn with the basketball. McCormick up for 2. Good. 62-57 as Auburn won't go away.
Yeah, it's a whiteout in the crowd tonight, but nobody told them to wear the same colored caps. We got all kinds of zany caps in the crowd.
There might be a prize for best cap. We'll have to see. Dotson for 3. No good. Rebound fought for. Auburn with the rebound. And it's 62-57. They can cut it to a one-possession game here, depending on how many points they come out of this possession with.
Been too long since they've heard from Okoro. He's been their best player in this game. Got to get him a touch here, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Now a 3, or was it? It was on the line. Oh, they're going to call it a 3. The refs are much better at that than I am, clearly. 62-60.
Well, what do I know? Samir Dowdy pulls up and hits a 3 right in the defender's mouth.
All right, Garrett for two, no good. Rebound, Azubuike puts it up and in, 64-60. Azubuike hasn't done a lot today as far as the offensive end goes, but he could be key down the stretch.
You know, I think this fast pace favors Auburn here, not just because they're down and they want more possession, but because they're a really good, fast transition team, but not if they don't take care of the ball.
Yeah, just a lot of turnovers in this fourth quarter, turning into Kansas points. Isaiah Moss for two, 66-60 the score, 6:20 to go.
Yeah, big-time jinx there on my part. Kansas now back up 6 and looking to put Auburn in a bit of a danger zone here. 6 minutes to go.
Dowdy with the basketball. Gets it to McCormick. McCormick with 15 to shoot for the Tigers. Gets it in. Two, good, and the foul. Abaji called for the foul. Getting the two was Okoro, and it's 66-62, and it could be a three-point game after this free throw attempt.
Yeah, that's an excellent half-court set for Bruce Pearl and Auburn, and you know, Bruce Pearl looking a little less red, a little less sweaty and animated than normal, maybe turning over a new leaf here in this title game, trying to be a calm, steadying presence and do what he couldn't do last season, which is finish the job. Auburn, as a 5 seed last year, made it all the way to the Final Four and lost to the eventual national champions, Virginia. Some would say a controversial loss, but now they've got a chance to turn it around, rewrite history here in the LiveSimSports tournament.
Okoro up and good on the free throw, so it's 66-63. Dotson with the basketball for the Kansas Jayhawks in a one-possession game in the national championship game here at the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. Up for two, no good on Dotson, and Auburn brings it quickly down the floor. Okoro ahead of the pack, up for two, blocked from behind, but it still goes in, 66-65.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck, Hunter. And here we go, 1-point game, 5 minutes to go. Buckle up, grab your popcorn.
Don't change that internet online URL, 66-65. Left side to Abaji, 5:23 to go. Garrett with the basketball now. Kansas by 1. Ooh, a little behind the back pass. Dotson in the lane, now kicks it back out to Abaji. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound Auburn, and they could take the lead here, could the 5-seed Tigers.
That's just what Auburn wants. Great defense, forcing into a tough outside shot.
Dowdy, two, no good. Rebound Azubuike, and Kansas will bring it quickly down the floor.
Yeah, that's not what you want. Don't want to go over Azubuike.
Nope. We've seen that end not very well for Auburn many a time. Garrett with the basketball. Now he brings it all the way back out near the logo. Now to Dotson. Dotson with 12 to shoot in the lane. Passes it out to Garrett for three. Good. Marcus Garrett, 69-65 at a 4-point advantage for the Kansas Jayhawks, the #1 overall seed.
How about a triple dose of onions for the junior in his 3rd career tournament?
Kansas almost with another steal. It's going to go out of bounds. The Tigers will retain possession. 69-65, of course, the score, as you can see. Auburn to inbound. All right, Purifoy. Right side to McCormick. He backs it out. 4:23 to go in this national championship game. Dowdy with the basketball. 20 to shoot. Now they switch.
I don't know why they
Dowdy.
switched that.
Yeah, now Wiley just comes in. Nobody covering him, and he dunks it. 69-67.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Marcus Garrett's done a great job on Dowdy. All of a sudden, the switch creates some off-ball confusion. Here comes Auburn.
Here comes Auburn is right. 4 minutes to go in the national championship game in Atlanta. Hunter Baumgart and Jake Herman with you. Azubuike with the basketball. We've played many games of this tournament, and it all comes down to the last 4 minutes in Atlanta. Couldn't ask for more. Dotson up for two. Good, and it's 71-67 Kansas.
Nice job there by the Jayhawks, getting the ball back inside. If they're going to go down, they're going to go down doing what they do best, getting that ball inside.
Shot percentages are evening out now. Kansas 58%, Auburn 53%. McCormick for three. Good, huge three for McCormick. 71-70. He's hit a couple big tray balls this second half.
Love that. That's a confident shot from McCormick. In the first half, he passed that shot up. Not anymore.
He's become a confident man in this second half. Azubuike. 14 to shoot. Gets to Moss. Moss on the right side for the Jayhawks. Only up 1. Moss up for 2. No good. Now Azubuike puts it up and in. Big rebound and putback. 73-70.
How about this? All the talk of freshmen, sophomores, one-and-dones in college, it's the seniors, Hunter, that are doing it in this game on both ends for each team.
It really seems that teams with seniors really do fare well in the tournament every year. It just seems that way. And obviously you have your one-and-done teams like Kentucky and others, but really seniors do, that experience really does help in the tournament.
Yeah, not this year for Kentucky, though. They had some experience, and they're SEC foes right now. Need a bucket.
McCormick up for two, no good. Rebound, Wiley, another slam for Wiley. That guy, wow, 16. He's 7 for 11, and they're down 1 are the Tigers.
Yeah, he had 26 points against Baylor when Auburn beat their first 1 seed of the tournament. It might take 26 for Wiley again if they're going to beat this other 1 seed.
Dotson with it on the left side, 2:03 to go. Dotson up for 2, off balance over a defender, no good. Wiley another rebound, he's got a double-double, and the Tigers bring it up the floor, down 1. They can take the lead.
Oh, my.
What a game. Sit back, strap in your seatbelts, because this has the makings of a great finish. Wiley again, 74-73.
And is it going to happen? Kansas has been in control of this game the whole time. Auburn completely stealing it. They're so streaky. Can they keep it up?
Kansas stole it from Villanova in the Final Four on Saturday. Can Auburn do what, can Auburn give a taste of their own medicine to Kansas? Yeah, there we go. All right, now a rebound by Kansas here. This is just as quick as you can be here. Kansas now down the floor. Garrett up for 2, no good, but a foul on Wiley, his 4th.
Yeah, big time drive there. Way to go right at it, force the issue. Marcus Garrett is really stepping up down the stretch. 25 points in the last round against Villanova were huge. Kansas needed all of them. And Austin Wiley's going to need all 5 of his fouls. He's going to walk a tightrope for the last 120 here. Garrett to the line for a couple of big free throws, probably the biggest free throws of this tournament so far. Garrett, a 61% foul shooter.
Bruce Pearl most likely going to leave Wiley in because there's 120 left, and you got to ride the hot hand. He's been the big guy for Auburn so far in this national championship game. And just kind of hedge your bets. 74-74 now is Garrett with the free throw.
Yep, got to leave Wiley in there, no brainer. And if you're Auburn, you got to have all bodies crashing the glass now. You can't afford to go one and done if you miss.
Garrett at the free throw line. Most everybody standing on that Auburn bench. Free throw good, and the Jayhawks with a 1-point advantage with 1:20 to go.
How about Garrett? How big has he been down the stretch of this game? Couple of clutch free throws.
Calm, cool, and collected. All right, in for 2 is no good. Rebound by the Jayhawks, and they'll try to extend the lead here.
Uh-oh, Okoro misses the bunny.
All right. Jayhawks with it. Abaji up for 2. Wild shot. Can't get it to go. Not really the shot selection they wanted. Wiley down the floor. Auburn quickly in the lane. 2 is up and good. And Purifoy with the 2. And the Tigers with the lead. A 1-point lead. Purifoy now at 10. 52.4 seconds left. Timeout. Jayhawks. Wow.
Yeah, Purifoy has been the silent assassin in the second half. Auburn really got some momentum by throwing up those alley-oops, those lobs to Purifoy. And I think it's been Purifoy's interior defense that's really slowed down Kansas offense. Remember when I said that lights over phrase? Kansas had 34 of their 40 points in the first half were in the paint. They have not been able to take it to Auburn in the second half. Credit Bruce Pearl's team for making that adjustment, and Purifoy has been a big part of that.
Yeah, I don't want to blame you for that lights over. I mean, that was I totally messed that one up. So you sounded perfect when you said lights are out, but lights are over. I might coin that term coming up.
I like it. Well, the lights are over for one of these teams here in 52.4 seconds. A 1-point game, and really anything can happen. We've seen crazy shots at the end of the shot clock go down in spots like this. This is what makes the LiveSimSports tournament so much fun. You get the added layer of the fun things that come with these virtual sims, a couple of matchups that would have been great in real life. This one coming down to the end. We hope you're enjoying it with us here on LiveSimSports.
Austin Wiley, the player of the game here, and obviously if they lose, then it'll most likely be a Kansas guy. But Austin Wiley, a guy who has just been dominant, Jake.
Dominant, and if Auburn is hoisting the trophy, cutting down the nets with their first ever national championship, he will probably be the reason for it. He's just been great in this game. It seemed like every time Kansas threatened to go up by double digits, Wiley was there for a big point.
Dotson with it for Kansas. Under 50 seconds left. Auburn with a 1-point lead in the national championship game here in Atlanta. Dotson finds a hole and puts it up, and no good. He gets his own rebound and brings it out. Oh, man, is that a big rebound.
Big rebound, second one of the game offensively for Dotson, but a good contest by Wiley. He had to sell out and lunge for that block.
Now he's just standing there, sizing up the opportunity, thinking about what this moment could mean for the rest of his life. 76-75 with 19 seconds left. 6 to shoot. Dotson, this is basically the possession here. Right side, gets it to Garrett for 2. No good. Rebound by Auburn, and they'll foul. do you like the strategy there of Kansas taking so much time off the clock?
Well, I would have liked it if Garrett took the wide open three. They're going to have to foul again here, and they do. And I tell you what, Auburn is lucky that shot was missed short and not long.
Yes.
Because if it was long, Azubuike had the position for the offensive rebound, and that's what it comes down to, a little game of inches. The short miss goes to Auburn, and now they have a chance to increase their lead at the line.
And Berman will be there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, McCormick, right? At the line here.
Or is it McCormick? McCormick, yep. 76-75. Free throw is no good.
Oh, my. He shot 58% there at the line this season. Auburn's been pretty dismal at the line today. Kansas, remember, has that one timeout. They may spend it, make or miss here.
All right, another free throw is no good. And so Kansas will use the timeout with 8 seconds left. They're down one. Well, Jake, they've been in this position before. Just a couple of nights ago, this team was down by three, I should say, with 2 seconds left, and they were able to shoot a buzzer-beating three to send it to overtime and eventually win. So they know what they're doing in these scenarios.
Right. Well, in these scenarios, a lot of the times we've seen some teams take ill-advised threes. I don't know if that's because of the NBA sim or what, but Kansas here, they don't have to take a three, so I don't think they should.
Right.
They're a team that likes to power it into the post. They've done a great job of penetrating. Abaji's run some great backdoor plays. Dotton's done a good job getting around his defender. And of course, if you throw it up, you have Azubuike, the tallest guy on the floor, to try to get a putback. If Kansas doesn't pound the ball down low here, I mean, the only reason they shouldn't do that is if they have a wide open three.
Can't ask for anything better. You got a 1-point game in the national championship game. You got the Clippers blimp floating around here in Atlanta. 8 seconds remain in regulation. And
somebody's about to be very stoked, and somebody's going to be very drained after these 8 seconds.
Yes. Kansas, Auburn fans, hold on to your hats here. Here we go. Dotson with the basketball. 6 seconds remain. Dotson top of the key. He's going to try to win the national championship, and it is no good. And the Auburn Tigers have done it. They have beaten the #1 overall seed, and they have won the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament by 1.
Wow, the celebrations are crazy for this experienced team to get so close last year, to sniff it, and then not get it done. What a redemption story for the Auburn Tigers, the 5 seed, 2 years in a row making the run, and this year they finish it off the way they wanted to for the national championship.
And a heartbreaking loss for the Kansas Jayhawks, who seemed to be in control for nearly the entire game, but that run at the end by the Auburn Tigers, Jake, really did them in.
Yeah, they reached deep into the well and found some defensive stops that it looked like they were never going to get in this game. Auburn really flipped the script in the second half.
They really did. Austin Wiley, the player of the game. The man was a beast inside on the offensive and defensive sides. Just a couple of huge offensive rebounds, and he's the player of the game. Jake, it's been a fantastic tournament, huh?
Wow, what a tournament this is, and hopefully for college basketball fans and any sports fans around the country, around the world, hopefully you're enjoying this game as much as we are. It's been fun to try and fill some of the void that was left by the cancellation of March Madness.
Yes, it was sad when the news came down that they unfortunately had to cancel, but we got right on it, and the entire team here at LiveSimSports has done an incredible job putting these together. We just get to call the games. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on that we have to praise the team for.
Yeah, and you see a little champagne there in the Auburn locker room. When you got a team of seniors, you could pop some champagne in that locker room.
Exactly. Love it. Well, Jake, it was a whole lot of fun. This tournament has been a whole lot of fun. You can see the stats on your screen. Once again, the final score, Auburn 76, Kansas 75. Jake, thanks so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you, Hunter. It's been great to join you for these calls via Zoom. You're the play-by-play man, the voice of this tournament. We had a lot of great commentators. Thanks to everyone who commentated. It was great to get to meet some of you guys through this, and I know it was great practice for me, certainly for you, and hopefully we help the folks at home enjoy this game through their computers, iPhones, wherever they're watching.
Yes, hopefully this tournament was a bright spot and kind of a distraction from the rest that's going on in the world. Once again, the final score, the 5-seed Auburn Tigers are the champions of the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament. They have upset the #1 overall seed, Kansas Jayhawks, and have won the national championship. Final score, 76-75. For Jake Herman, my name is Hunter Baumgart, saying so long from Atlanta. Good night, everybody, and thanks for watching the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament.
there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. In all the years, no one knows just how hard you worked. But now it shows. In one shining moment, it's all on the line. In one shining moment, they're frozen in time. But time is short and the road is long. In the blinking of an eye, that moment's gone. And when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best. 'Cause inside you knew that in one shining moment you reached deep inside. One shining moment you knew you were alive. Feel the beat of your heart, feel the wind in your face. It's more than a contest, it's more than a
Devin, Gillespie on the left wing, finds more for three. It's good!
Rolls up for two. Good!
Kicks it, Mitchell at the buzzer. No, it rolls out, and Auburn's going to the Final Four.
In from Okoro.
It's done. Win or lose, you always did your best. 'Cause inside you knew, in one shining moment you reached for the sky. In one shining moment you knew, yeah. In one shining moment you're willing to try. In one shining moment you knew.
For you to tie. Here we go. They get it in for three at the buzzer. Hey, made it! And we're tied at 80. It is no good. And the Auburn Tigers have done it. They have beaten the #1 overall seed, and they have won the LiveSimSports College Hoops Tournament by 1.
For this experienced team to get so close last year, to sniff it and then not get it done, what a redemption story for the Auburn Tigers.